My name is Lecturer Klaji, Bishop Kenya Michael Thomas speaking, Nairobi National Government, Embakasi East Constituency, Embakasi Village, ward called Miango in Nairobi National Government. I'm a lecturer Klaji because I've taught so many colleges, theological colleges like African Religious Beset Bible College, African Church Beset Bible College in Narok County Government, Covenant College of Mission International, Narok County Government, as well as also taught, paramilitary general service unit here in Nairobi National Government for 12 years, that is 2004 to 2016, as a civilian spiritual affairs instructor of both systematic theology, Christianity, and also Islamic studies. So that's me actually, and I want to share with you the Word of God today, briefly, from the book of Daniel, which was written by Daniel, chapter 1, chapter 6, verse 1 and 2. This book was written by Daniel himself, alright, was one of the captives of Israelite young boys who have been taken to Babylon some years, or the modern country of Iraq today. These young people called Daniel, among others, called Beneko, Shadrach, and Meshach, and also Shadrach, were taken to Babylon some years back. They are taken captives to Babylonian around 605 before Christ's birth. The people of Judah at that time were in exile then in Babylon or Iraq, and so this prophet and settlement bishop called Daniel encouraged them by reminding them that of God's ultimate control over events, and God will also restore them back to their land, which of course He did it. So what I want you to know in this preaching is that God has elevated this man among also the other three, Shadrach, Abednego, and Meshach, into high level of position of authority in the in foreign land of Iraq or Babylon that time. So we are told actually Daniel was one of them, and in Daniel chapter 6 verse 1 and 2, it pleased King Darius of Babylon that time to appoint 120 satraps or governors to rule throughout the kingdom of Judah that time. And verse 2, with 3 administrators over them, one of them was Daniel, which of course now the 3 administrators were president, and the satraps were made accountable to them so that their king might not suffer loss. So that was actually the system of government of that time, which of course was a unitary government like Kenya President Ruto today. We are one single party government. You know now the opposition of Kenya Republic has merged together with the government to form one unitary government like the former President Moi government, the late President Moi government of KANU or Kenya Africa National Union Party. So there is no one who is checking the balances and what the government is doing now, because now the government has actually opted to join the opposition as one, and so in sharing kind of sharing of the national cake. So we have a very bad government in that case now in Kenya Republic, like also Iraq that time. So bad government normally has so many mischievous behaviors. One example is actually, we can say a bad government of that nature can cause what we call political assassinations without anyone actually questioning them. That kind of government also used to head actually political pressures. If you read, Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 5 and 6, verses, we are also told by the teacher in that kind of a text, which is Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 5 and 6. Whenever fools people are in position of authority, there will be a lot of repercussions. Of course, people will actually be assassinated, people will be abducted, And people also miss what we call social welfare and the social also protection of the sanctity of life. Like Kenya today. Today in our Taifa Leo kind of a paper, you can see it here. It is stating that the people of Tekaji, there are a lot of abduction of our youths and adults some few months ago, including this month. The government of our president called President Ruto has started now abducting and killing human beings and also maiming and also crippling so many of them. And there's no one to question them because we don't have an opposition. The opposition leader has opted to join government and is being funded now to go to Africa Union kind of a position of authority of chairmanship position at Addis Ababa or in Addis Ababa, Africa Union, headquarters. So as I speak now, Kenya has one unitary kind of political party government, which is ruling us in an iron kind of slavery life and denying us all services. So President is now, administrators have started killing Kenyans and also denying them social welfare like a clean environment, water, drinking water, food, and also, health cares, and also many students are not going to schools because of lack of fees, both elementary, intermediate kind of a secondary, junior secondary schools and universities as well. The parents which are poor, we call them vagabond, homeless, displaced people since post-election violence of 2007, 2008, and also consecutively the following others like 2002, 2012, and 2022, likewise recent one. As I speak now in Nairobi National Government and Pakas Village, here in Nairobi, inside the house which was built by British government, and now I have actually taken over to be mine and also renovated it. We are having so many displaced human beings around me here who are sleeping in, these ruined toilets which are left by British government of 1956, Queen Elizabeth II, the governor of Nairobi, or Kenya at that time, or the president in that case, the female president. So I'm living in that house now. This is the house I'm speaking in. I've actually used a kind of a most staff to use actually the media house here of my own to relay this message to all human beings that Daniel was the president of Iraq. With God, all things are possible. Luke 1:37. You can be a captive, but God can elevate you to be a president. And that's why I'm looking forward, beyond reasonable doubt, to be United States of Kenya Republic president come 2027 elections. I know I will win. No doubt, beyond reasonable doubt. So President Daniel was reported to be actually a captive and also became president in Babylon or Iraq today, country, in Daniel chapter 6 verse 2. So King Darius of that time appointed him as one of the president among the three presidents with 120 governors. So he was also a very handsome man together with his colleagues like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and they are taken there around 536 BC and 530 BC, which is about 2,554 years AD now. Anno Domini, the year of Jesus Christ. So remember, repercussion can occur when we have bad presidents and kings in possession of authority, as reported in Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verses 5 to 6 verses. So remember that politics need good mothers, counsel, and wives in Proverbs also chapter 33 verse 31. And that's why I'm looking forward to have a better woman who is educated and so brave and courageous and hardworking. The daughter of our incumbent head of state is His Excellency Dr. William Samuel Ruto. Youngest daughter, Miss Charlene Ruto, to be my first lady in the next government around the corner, 2027 elections. About 28 months remaining. So it's going to help me, and I'm not going to be a political killer as reported in 2 Kings chapter 21 verse 23 and 24. I'm not going to be a bad politician who will kill Kenyans or any other races or tribes or colors or genders or religion or other nationality human being living in Kenya. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to rule Kenyans, human beings, regardless of which race, color, gender, nationality they come from, so long as you are living in Kenya fairly with just type of justice, without any nepotism, favorism, and partiality leadership. So my government is stipulated in manifesto, in online, Facebook, Instagrams, YouTubes, and Twitters. You can check Bishop Kenya Michael Tome. I'm going to have a powerful woman to be my first lady, Priestess Honorable Charlene Ruto, the youngest daughter of our president, the current head of state. She's a very hardworking woman, who has also prayed and God has answered her prayer. And he was also prayed by a very, righteous man, which of course God has heard his prayer together with the lady prayer, Charlene Ruto. And I've signed online that she will be my first lady. I'm a middle-aged man, an Israelite by birth, by father. My mom also is a Samburu subtribe, must say, from Samburu County, but we used to live in some Marsabit County, near the border of Kenya and Ethiopia. And also we are not very far from, Somalia-controlled state of Wajir, which is also partially Somalia country, because Somalia country used to extend out to northeastern part of Kenya. And that's why now it is not accessible to other tribes of Kenya Republic, about 46 tribes. It is predominantly only occupied by Somali ethnic group human being, Kushites. So remember that I'm going to rule Kenya fairly for 7 federal states independent, 290 constituencies, and 1,450 ward assemblies. You will not cry anymore for lack of services, and I'm going also to be a God-fearing leader. We are not going to abduct you and kill you unnecessarily to pour your blood because you are hiring your grievances to be helped by the states. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be a God-fearing leader with my Vice President, His Excellency, govt, retired Kenya Army Brigadier, who is also specialist in music, in all, battalions, but is now a retiree. And he was also on ballot paper 2007 elections. He was number 2, according to the list, if you check online. But he opted now to give me an okay to be my deputy president or vice president, that case, in the next government, 2027. With my powerful prime minister of Luo ethnic background, from Luo land, and he was also the president of America for 10 years, His Excellency Dr. Barack Hussein Obama. Kenyan have requested him when he was on throne to come and rule us, and God has answered all the Kenyan prayers. I'm going to have him as my powerful prime minister in charge of all government ministries and also state agencies affairs. Prime Minister, very powerful Prime Minister. So he's going to come, no one has objected in Kenya so far. All Kenyan, 99.9 want him to help me. I will be just a ceremonial president together with my vice president and, His Excellency govt. Because of my nature of profession, I'm a lecturer clergy, I said it. And I'm also going to be, a ruler who is God-oriented kind of a person mind. Also to see God, to put God first in Matthew chapter 6 verse 3. And other things will follow. And also humanity welfare, I will focus to improve their lives. Human beings will not cry in Kenya in my government for the time which God will allow us to rule them. Otherwise, Kenyan want me, and I'm also from a pastoralist kind of a background, heritage in that case. Although I am a crossbred, but nevertheless, that's not a big issue. God can, also elevate you, and whichever race you come from, color, gender, and also nationality. God is actually searching our heads to see who you are and to also appoint you even before you are birth. In Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5, he has appointed Jeremiah the prophet and also ruler of Israel when he was not born. So I believe God has appointed me to be his son, prophet and lecturer clergy, who has also taught so many pastors who are now in the field, and they are doing a wonderful job in their spiritual affairs, social and physical affairs, ministries, okay, around the globe, and also in Kenya Republic for 7 county government, 290 councils, and 1,450 assemblies. So we don't actually the president to keep on, abducting youth and killing them and maiming them. And also adults equally, because they are hiding their grievances that they needed help from the state. Otherwise, may God bless you in my being living in Kenya and beyond. And remember to pray for me, and also to pray for my government, which is now online. And you can check the manifesto, or we're going to fire the president, executive office of the president said that using, a vehicle called to my Liberation Party Reformation Movement. So to my Liberation Party, you will get it. Our constitution is there, our rules of nomination are there, and also our constitution is there. We have been approved by the register of political parties now 2024. So we are ready anytime we are called to fire for that seat of presidency and others I've mentioned. We are cleared by political independent and electoral and boundary commissions, obviously, because they are being led by register of political parties. And that is none other than Honorable Ann Derito, a God-fearing lady, has approved our party called Tumaini Liberation Party, or Tumaini Liberation Reformation Party. We are going to bring a change, and don't fear the change. Our flag will be changed. We are going to scrap also Senate kind of leadership. We are also going to have few governors and few members of parliament, and also few members of county assemblies, to reduce the wage bill, so that we will improve humanity lives. And we are also going to employ unschooled and educated youth equally, because in all security forces, be it Kenya Defense Forces, all regular police and paramilitary police and special unit police, and anti-terror, also border police and special units, we are all going to have both school and unschooled youths, because to donate bombs and also to use guns does not require a lot of education. It's a kind of a practical kind of issue. You need just a tactical kind of methodology system for you to shoot and also to donate bombs and also to do other necessary weaponry kind of utility. Otherwise, we will not actually keep on employing rich human beings and leave poor human beings who cannot afford to pay their way through bribes to get employed in Kenya. Because you have to pay 250,000 for you to be employed in Kenya in all sectors, including even security forces and education and also judiciary and also all arm of government, I should say so. We will not allow that kind of misbehaviors to continue in Kenya. we will actually improve the life of humanity from actually, those poor people, which of our president was calling them hustlers, including himself, but he's actually so rich. He has been actually deceiving them and eventually told them, even though you put your sufurias on your head, you will not help them. That is the nature of human beings. We used to deceive others, and that's now we are ending up having a very kind of a stock market crashing down kind of a government of our president, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, which is not heading anywhere. Otherwise, may God bless you. Let us have, good motives, all right, okay, and avoid kind of a selfish motive, okay, like what King Saul did to offer his own daughter to David in 1 Samuel chapter 18 verse 20-23, who later on again, inherited his throne. So we have to have a clear motive, not a selfish kind of motive, because even King Saul, despite the fact that the daughter of King Saul loved actually David because of his courageousness and braveness, having killed even Goliath. He was actually a person who was also loved by Jonathan, the king's son, and the king used actually to have a kind of a selfish motive, wanting to kill David. So, but anyway, he did not actually affect his family. Michal loved David despite all those kind of selfish motive of his father. So I'm looking forward also to marry, Charlene Ruto, and our president has no selfish motive. Ruto has no selfish motive like that King Saul. So I believe he's going to cooperate with me and also help me to ascend to the throne to succeed him. So moving ahead, God sees all many man ways in Proverbs 5:21. So remember also, God can know our motives. So let us not cheat ourselves. God sees all mankind ways, be it good or bad, in Proverbs chapter 5 verse 21. The Lord also sees good and not evil in Amos chapter 5 verse 14. And sin committed in heart also God sees in Matthew chapter 5 verse 27 and 28. So remember also, let us have a clear motive so that we will not offend God. Alright? And let us also not blame God for our misdeeds. In Isaiah chapter 6 verse 3, Isaiah chapter 63 verse 17. The Lord, let us avoid to blame God for our misdeeds. In Isaiah chapter 63 verse 17. Ukifanya makosa usiseme kwamba Mungu ndio amenifanya nifanye. It is the devil. Like for example, abductions, killings, maiming or crippling human beings, denying them services. It is not God's affair. It is your own personal affairs to harm human beings. Otherwise, may God bless you, human being in Kenya and beyond. And remember to pray for me. Lecturer Clergy Bishop Kenya Michael Otome, anticipated United States of Kenya Republic President, in the coming election or around the corner, about 28 months, 2027 elections. May God bless you, human being living in Kenya and beyond. Wish you in coming prosperous year, God protections, wisdom, understanding, and knowledge, it will be bestowed upon you all worldwide, nation human beings. Amen.